All right.
Chirp.
Wow. What a night.
What a night. I actually thought
what a night.
I thought I would have gone to the store and been back at my house, like making dinner by this time.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of things that could have
happened. We had a little bit of a technology flare up. Like
I don't even know. It was such a flare up. I started crying, but not even because of the technology.
Something I need to work
Terrible
on
timing
is really, if I can't figure it out in like the first 5 minutes, I'm such a throw in the towel. Like I sometimes feel like when I don't understand something and then it feels like it's out of my hands, like I haven't been able to figure it out with what I know.
Yeah.
I'm so like, get it off my fucking desk.
Right.
Like,
right.
Like I literally was like, we've lost audio before. I was like,
yeah, I'm like overly optimistic in a way that like I need to let it go sometimes.
But
I'm always like,
it's good for this. I mean, we did figure it out.
Yeah, but I'm always like, let's just try one more time, but do the exact same thing.
It was pretty bold when we were like, let's turn off the whole computer.
The turn off, whenever there's a technology issue, I'm always like, let's turn everything off first.
Okay, but we don't know if that was what fixed it, but it
kind of seems like it might have. Yeah. And then that happens with my TV a lot too. The remote doesn't work. Change all the batteries, do all this stuff. And I just turn it off, turn it back on. We're back.
The second my remote doesn't work, I download the app version of the remote. And
I tried to do that and it wasn't working. That wasn't working.
The Roku app remote.
Yeah.
Like it's an app you open, you connect it to your TV, and it's literally the remote, has ads. So like you're clicking around trying to pick something. You're like, oh, watch this show. Let's move to the episode. You get stopped. You have to like watch an ad. Isn't that ridiculous?
I mean, I do have to say ads kind of work on me. I've been buying a lot off ads recently.
Really? Okay, well, which ones? Because some are
like on Instagram. Well, my Instagram stuff is really mean recently. It's like, I mean, you saw my Instagram.
Your Instagram's like really cruel.
It was like, do you have an apron belly? You need to get that fixed right now. Here's a pill.
Was like love after 30. Like,
yeah.
Is it worth it?
Are you are you over 30? You should just fucking kill yourself. Like, no, like, do you need an off-brand GLP-1? Because this is it.
We have it for you.
It's only going to be $900 a month.
But you can have it, and you need it because our ads are telling you how awful.
It'll get rid of that belly. And do you have a sagging neck?
Is like yours. I was literally scrolling on. You know how when you're scrolling on people's Instagram, they show you within them, which feels like we should be getting money if there's an ad on the middle of my feed.
Totally.
But it was literally just scrolling on someone's page for like 2 minutes, and I was like, Nora, your ads are like, you should get on my TikTok. My TikTok is like 3 signs your boyfriend has never loved you, and I'm like, okay, what are they?
Mine's like a life like dating coach being like, if he didn't text you back in 2 hours and 73 minutes,
it's done.
Sorry, 73 minutes, 3 hours and you know what I'm saying, 3 hours and 13 minutes. Like you not only is it done, you should go fucking kill yourself.
Your phone wants you dead. Mine doesn't want me to trust anyone in my life. Mine are literally like, I feel like I vent about something for a second. Like I'll say to Wolf something about like my schedule at work. And it's like, here's your sign that your job is not the right fit and it's actually ruining your life. And I'm like, okay.
I feel like no job is the right fit.
I actually, speaking of TikTok, because I'm still on that, because sometimes they're just so funny.
Yeah.
But then they squeeze in these really upsetting ones.
Yeah.
This girl, she's in her late 30s.
Okay.
And she was like, no, you're not in your late 30s. She was like 37.
Okay.
37.
If I was 37 and we just had that technical error and we were still in here recording and I was still in my situation romantically, the whole thing, that is when I need to kill myself.
Okay. So
if I'm still with that computer at 37,
in like 5-6 years,
if I have that computer,
I'll be like on high. I'll be on.
Yeah, if I have that computer and we're using a separate keyboard at 37, like Nora, what?
Okay.
The hell?
And do you want me to say that, or you'll handle it?
No, it's good. Just life is gonna roll through.
Okay.
Should we do the intro?
Wait, yeah, but is there ever an age?
Yeah.
Like if we were still here, you would throw in the towel?
No, because Mel Robbins was like, "Oh, I started my podcast at 50." And now she's like a bajillionaire and like is doing
her morning routine. She said you have to do.
No, I don't need her routine. I have mine.
Hers is actually a little stressful.
No, yeah, mine's already kind of stressful, and I'm really dedicated to it. And it works for me.
Don't snooze your alarm. The second your alarm goes off, you turn it off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
I did do a countdown
outside, like in the first 10 minutes of being up.
No, that's not right.
Has she thought about like if I have to use the bathroom or have to get dressed or the dog? Like
she has like a country house in the country, right? So yeah, of course she's. It's like it's a little different than walking down 5 flights of steps.
Like Wolf is gonna be scared if he starts seeing me do that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up,
and I'm running outside.
Let's do the intro real quick because I'm trying to because I know we had a meeting about structuring. Now I'm kind of on high alert.
Oh, but this is nothing.
Okay.
I feel like this is. What do you think?
Let's just do the intro real quick and then we'll just.
My name's Hanna Gerlander.
And I'm Nora Fried. And you're listening to High Heels and Punchlines.
Chirp edition.
Oh.
I don't know why I was going to say chirp.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
I guess we could do that. And you're listening to
chirp, chirp. Sorry, we're hanging on by a complete thread.
No, like
I'm hanging on by like a piece of yarn from Michael's that like is in the sale section.
I feel like my rope is a little thicker. It's just more.
Is it from like Ace Hardware?
It's like I think my rope is thin. Is not thin. It's just like carrying heavy stuff today, but it's not thinning.
Yeah.
Because I think I thought so for some reason. So I work at a gym. I work at Orange Theory.
It's not just a gym.
Okay, no, but I'm saying that
it's more than a gym. I feel like you're dumbing it down to you manage a community studio of fitness enthusiasts.
Yes, I do. And I love it there. I wasn't trying to dumb the job down.
No, I'm just saying, like, you should give yourself more credit. So I feel like you do a lot. Because working at gym is like, I envision you at Planet Fitness, like throwing in some towels, you know? And you're doing so much more than that.
We're doing a lot at Orange Theory. Orange Theory does like triple what Planet Fitness will ever do, truly.
It's triple the price.
Normally, the deal with the gym, with Orange Theory, is that you always work 5 days a week, and normally one is a weekend. But I've got this thing going on for the next 2 weeks where I work a classic Monday through Friday and have Saturday, Sunday off.
Amazing.
But that's kind of giving me...
Not your average gym.
Today... No. Like today, I'm like aware that this is a true Sunday for me. Because normally it's like I'll have off Wednesday.
Right.
And I work Saturday. So it's like, who gives a rip? Like Sunday is a day off, but it's like I'll have another day off in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. But because I'm like, oh, today's a true day off before working 5 days in a row, I kind of feel like I thought we were going to be like, which is no one's fault. Like it was a weird tech thing. But like I thought I was going to leave here. I was going to run to the store. I was going to get a couple groceries for the week, for my week of work. Yeah. And I was going to run to the Marshalls and look around at bathroom stuff.
Oh, okay.
Wolf's mom is coming to visit.
Yeah, wait till she gets here. Place.
No, but I want it to be a little bit more together than what it is.
Oh, you want her to,
I have a couple gift cards still. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can find some things.
Totally.
So the place has a better launching point when she gets there. The bathroom is, you'll see it next time you come over.
Hey.
It's the roughest part.
Sorry, Margot just kind of.
She's glad the boys are gone.
Yeah, she hates men. My little lesbian cat.
You think she's gay?
Yeah. She really, really doesn't like men romantically or just as friends. She does seem to get along with gay men sometimes, but she's really hit or miss. Mm. And she loves me.
Yep. Well, this has been a lot of your time being taken up by other people.
What? Oh.
Like I feel like is used to, especially with like the new job.
Yeah.
I feel like she's like, okay, that's
the
Nora Margot party.
Yeah, it's big party.
And now it's kind of like, You had people here all day, Nora. Like, it's us time.
You're more of just like an extension of home, though, at this point.
You think?
Yeah.
Sometimes she's like glaring at me.
Really?
Yeah. When I was fixing the computer, I just like looked up for a second, but she was like behind your pillow, just.
I think she was waiting for an update.
Hi.
It's so frustrating. Like, I feel like as this is kind of like going back to like women in STEM, but like not just women, men too. I mean, everyone, you know, just like. It's crazy, like, being a comedian now versus, like, you know, if we were, like, Marvelous Miss Maisel or whatever, you know? It's like, you have to be a graphic designer. You have to be a technician. You have to be, you know,
you have to be a
podcaster. You have to
be a social media manager.
Social media. Like, it's just so much fucking shit. And I'm just like, what the hell? Can we just, like, tell jokes?
Like, when you
and
think
just,
about
like,
it, like,
talk?
20 years ago. Not even.
We would have been on a stage doing this.
Not really like date how long I've been doing stand up, but like the app TikTok did not exist when I started doing stand up. And additionally, you could only post videos on Instagram, and that was like when nobody did it.
Right.
So it's like there was a period of time where like even like shows that were going on, this is still like Instagram stories weren't even a thing. You just like didn't know what people were doing all the time. You didn't know what they were telling jokes about, and you didn't know how well or not well their career was going.
Right.
And it's like social media has been around and been probably bad for me in other ways, but like when I think about how right now there's like a direct correlation between like your worth as a stand-up and your talent and like your online presence, and we're all at any point in time can just log online and have that in our face, like, oh, they're going viral and they're booked all week and yada, yada, yada. It's like, it's awful.
Yeah.
Like when I think about when I first started, like no wonder sometimes I'm always trying to figure out what's going on for me now that I have so much more anxiety around stand up and like feel so much more like not a part of it. And I'm then like when I first started and had like went to mics all the time, went to shows all the time, asked people to book me, and I'm like, it's like the comparison, like being able to see other people's success, like really, I think affects me.
Yeah.
It really makes me like feel like, why should I even try?
I hope you don't feel that way.
I'm trying to be different this year, to be like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I think when you hone into just whatever you're doing and just like not try really hard not to let,
This is nuts.
try not to let, I know I have my hand under her. She likes it when my hand kind of lifts up her leg. She's like, so that I can get straight access to her belly to rub it. She loves this. We're talking about Margot, by the way.
Because if you're just listening.
Yeah, she loves it. Hands in the air.
You guys got to get on YouTube and see this.
Yeah, this is nuts. Also, just get on YouTube in general. Like, we put so much effort into.
Our views are like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, I guess maybe someone who tracks trends would be able to track it. But when I need to, no way.
Part of our scheduling meeting was going to be tracking ad spend, but then I was up all night losing my fucking mind last night. So.
And I honestly feel like even if that didn't happen with what just happened, how could we plan anything after this?
I know. We'll plan everything maybe on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's just like we're running a business every day.
For no money.
It'll come around.
But I feel like that's an added stress.
Yeah, totally. But this is something that another comedian in our orbit said at a show recently that I went to, recently meaning like last year.
That was kind of recent.
Yeah, but like last like May.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, she was like, yeah, so the one thing you don't realize about being on the late night show is that you're on the late night show and then you go home after.
That's it.
And that's it. And didn't get, no money. You get a little money, but then, that's it.
And you get like 24 hours on the internet of feeling amazing.
Yeah. And then it's just like, that's all. So that kind of put things in perspective for me too.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not always going to have those feelings of like,
I should tell Wolf that. He's the same. The two of us living together is actually like dangerous for
I don't know how you do it. with having a boyfriend who's in a field that you're also in. That would drive me nuts. Like, I feel like I just would be like kind of what you're saying, like comparing myself a lot and like getting down on myself and just feeling really like competitive with someone if they were doing the exact same thing as me. Not that you should, but I can like totally see that being like an added like stressor, and it shouldn't be, but it's because it makes sense. You guys are in the same orbit. Of course, you're gonna. I've been using orbit a lot. Of course, yeah, come into my orbit. But it's like intense. It's like two lawyers living together, two doctors living together. You know, it's like two teachers.
Started lots of examples.
It's like two firefighters living together. It's like two nurses living together. It's like two people. You guys got it. Yeah. It's like two people who work at Dwayne Reed living together.
When this is something that I feel like is the biggest thing I like kick myself about is when we first started dating. I do feel like, oh my god, I have to burp. No, I don't. When we first started dating, I was booked like a lot more than I am now. I probably had like 2-3 shows a week. I was hosting my show bi-weekly that had like a following, so people would like come to the show, and I was hosting a mic, and then I met Wolf, and we kind of like, he would come to mics with me, we would go to shows together, but like I viewed him as much more successful than me. He had a lot more followers. He was booked
which is
on
like
bigger
so
shows.
Stupid.
Well, see, this is
like the
why
followers.
I kick myself. Like now, I don't view, if Wolf is booked every other night of the week, that's fine by me. If he has 1 million more followers than me, which he does, like now I do not feel jealous at all. When we first started, like if he had a show and I was just home waiting for him after the show because of work or something I didn't go, like that would wreck me. Like I was like a jealous mess. I was like so frustrated. And like then when he didn't have a show, which meant he was available, and like I had a show, like I didn't want him to come because I thought he like I just thought he'd be judgy about my stand-up. So there was like a weird, this is what makes me upset at myself, is I probably spent 6-7 months of our relationship thinking about Wolf doing stand-up and thinking about what he would think of my stand-up. And in those 7 months, I did not do stand-up.
Oh.
And Wolf was like, oh, you have a show tonight? Let me come. And I was like, please don't come. And then he was like, let's go to Mike's together. And I was like, I can't. Like, it was nuts. I asked him not to come to my open mic. Like, it was just this weird, like, obsession with, like, what he thought. When, like, I did the mic, he came to the mic before we started dating, like, multiple times. Yeah. Like, he knew what was going on.
And you're, like, a hot stand-up.
Thank you so much.
You get up there and you can, like wobble, like, diddle-doop-doop-doop. Like, it's just, like, you just can, like... It's like Mary Poppins coming out. Like, you don't need to prep a lot. You're not like listing off a ton of jokes. You're like bop 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 beep bop, and then you go for it. I was so
confused where this was coming from, and then additionally, this was like I'm in a relationship, which means for the first time, like I'm not getting attention from other men. I'm just getting it from one guy.
All the boys have a crush on you,
but they weren't. They knew they couldn't speak it to me, and I that is when I realized that I had like no self-confidence of my own. And then I like stopped giving a shit about Wolf and his stand-up because I was like, oh my god, I have serious work to do. I was like, you're telling me I don't think I'm hot unless some guy is saying it to me, and you're telling me that like the idea of this guy who's supposed to be like my partner in life seeing me do good or bad keeps me from doing something. Like, we've got work to do.
I do. Yeah. Well, I think I think it's if Wolf didn't have an Instagram, would you still feel this way? Like, that's how crazy tech is right now.
That's crazy because it's like
you guys are kind of.
I had never heard of him before.
Like, and honestly, you guys kind of are doing comedy at a similar rate to a certain extent because you're doing the sketch team and you're doing the podcast and you're doing mics and you'll throw in some shows like. It's just Instagram that makes us feel inferior like to people. Nothing. Yeah, I'm like, I look at my Instagram and I'm like, well, 1,500 people following you? Yeah, fucking loser. Yeah. And it's like, actually, like that, that's not just like my aunt and uncle, It's like there's some randoms in there.
And also, you deleted your whole Instagram like a year ago?
I deleted my Instagram a year ago.
This is in a year.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And those are real people that.
But like, but it's just like annoying because it's like, what?
Because it means nothing. If the
so
app
stupid.
got like hacked tomorrow,
it's going to.
Actually, I'm like, I hate to be like thrilled about this TikTok thing. Is that bad to be happy about it?
I actually was going to ask you because I was listening to the news the other day and it seems confusing if you should be happy or sad. Because I think because it is kind of like dictatorial what Trump's trying to do. But at the same time, I'm also like he wants to keep it around, but like have control over it.
Which I think is spooky.
Which is really scary.
Get rid of it than do that.
But then like if he doesn't have control over it, which is the alternative because we don't want him to have control over everything or anything, honestly, then it's like it's going to die.
Because I read like it's not going to be deleted off your phone.
Yeah.
You can no longer purchase it in the App Store.
Right.
Which means no one new can get TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Which additionally means, like, say you update your phone, the app will no longer be part of the update. Mm-hmm. So, like, or if you get a new phone or something, then you won't get TikTok back. Like, if I got a new phone and then was re-downloading my apps that were backed up, TikTok would be gone for me. So, like, some people will have it for, like, you know, if you just got a new phone, you'll have it for, like, you can have it for like 5-6 years, but it's like no one new is joining. So I feel people are just going to ditch it and go all in on Instagram again.
Interesting.
Did you see that Instagram? What's his name?
Who
approved that stuff?
Who? Mark. I said Mike. Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah.
Did you see what he the leak of what Facebook is allowing or Meta, like what language they're including in free speech?
What?
So like they are able to limit types of conversations or verbiage.
Right.
Like if someone's saying, they can say like you're not allowed to say, and this is where like all the if you're like posting and use the word sex or dick, like
yeah.
taken down.
Yeah.
Within approved saying was like trans people aren't real.
What?
Or Mexicans are immigrants.
What?
Mexican immigrants are like something aliens. Like it was a derogatory term, meaning somebody was like going through and was like, okay, like that's okay. But then was like, I don't want to hear the word like anal. Like, no anal online. Isn't that nuts?
God, tech is really crazy.
Doesn't it feel like we all should be strong enough to delete everything? Because they seem evil. And if we just decided as a whole, we're not going to use the apps anymore, we're all going to delete them, this is sickening. Wouldn't they then have to change?
I guess that's kind of like the same thing as like recycling. If we all just did it.
Okay.
Like if we all just did it.
Mm-hmm. What?
There wouldn't be so much trash everywhere. You know, it's like if everyone just threw in a hand.
Do you recycle?
Yeah, I do.
Was there ever a period of time where you didn't?
Whenever I used to have like banging parties, that wasn't getting recycled, which is probably the time when I probably should have been recycling the most. But I would just be like, okay, we got to clear this out, just whatever, throw everything. I would try at first and then just kind of be like, whatever. But also recycling apparently is like a scam in some places, and like only like a quarter of what we actually recycle actually gets recycled, blah, blah, blah. Like if you don't wash out the peanut jar or whatever. Anyways, what I'm saying is like if everyone committed to like doing different things, then it's like we could save the world. But instead, we can't commit.
Something just popped into my head, but you need to hear it.
Composting?
No. Did you hear
Michael's
that they found lead?
No.
In chocolate protein powders?
Why are you doing that to me?
I have to tell you that because you love protein.
I know.
I do too. Like we've been eating lead.
Great. And Tupperware has microbiomes of plastic that leak into your food. And they found tons of plastic. We have to get rid of all of our Tupperware and get glass.
See, but how bad is it for the environment for us to throw out all this plastic?
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck? Well, it's like, what do you care more, your colon or the environment?
Honestly, I don't really care about either. I mean, I care. I care, but like in terms of like.
I just looked at the camera like, so what do you think?
What do you guys?
What would you rather? Colon?
What do you care more about? Like, I care about the environment, but it's like, and I also care about my colon.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone was like, okay, your colon, the environment, or this homeless person asking for a sandwich, you know, I feel like I'm into things that I can like do in that moment. The environment feels so out of my hands.
Yeah.
And my colon feels so out of my mind.
So you're gonna get the sandwich
For the homeless.
Okay. I like
Remember
my
Homo Negative?
Yeah, no.
It was so funny. Some guy at an open mic like said something that he was worried would be problematic, like homophobic. But instead of saying, I hope that wasn't homophobic, he goes, hope that wasn't too homo negative.
That was crazy. That was a crazy mic.
Yeah, it was. It was freeing.
I felt a little claustrophobic in it. But I liked that you found it freeing, and then I kind of found it freeing through you finding it freeing.
Can I say something that's, I don't want to sound bratty?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't often go to those types of mics, and it's been a while since I've like sat in silence on stage. I feel like normally I go to mics and I riff a little bit and I get some laughs.
Yeah.
Like, great. That was fun.
Yeah.
But it's been a minute since like the mic has been a silent mic and you get like 2 laughs and then you say something and like no one even looks at you.
I was trying to laugh. Did you hear me laughing?
I did. I was laughing with yours too. But
I was like, ha ha
it's
ha.
kind of like freeing to be like left alone to your own devices. Like, you know, like no one's coming to laugh. No one's
Yeah,
you
but
gotta do this.
I think that wasn't because you weren't funny. I think the whole room, no one was laughing for anyone because everyone was depressed. I mean, there was a guy who literally went up and just listed every single time he's ever been fired in his life.
I've only
We
been
were like,
fired once.
yeah, you don't list that out. Like what the hell?
You don't say like that's why
I've actually never been fired, but it's just like if I was like fired
Carla really
like
ruined
100
that for me.
times. You weren't fired though, Hannah. You were let go. She didn't fire you.
You're right. You're right.
Firing is like
wrong,
creepy. Like
remove
this guy
that
was like,
person.
I really fucked up at the Cheesecake Factory. And I was like, what did you do? And then he's like, yeah. And then I worked for an insurance company and I got fired there. And then I became a babysitter and I got fired. And then I became, it's like,
How did he
dude,
even
what
get
is
to
going
this stage?
on? Like you're getting fired everywhere. You fired.
Sorry, my volume was on because I was waiting for Becky to call.
It's okay. I think the climate is, if it's the colon, my climate, or the homeless guy with the sandwich, I right in this moment, it's the climate, just because I feel like LA burning is really, really
you know what?
terrifying. However, after the climate, I might work on my colon real fast. Sorry. So that I can live longer to give the homeless guy more sandwiches.
He's around.
But I'm just saying we do have to get rid of our Tupperware.
And we do need to handle the environment is something that feels so stressful because it's like I feel like there's all these people, these little people with not a lot of money doing these changes to their everyday life to help the world. And then there's people on the top of their mountains with all their money who could like fix it, like could actually put their money towards saving where we live, and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of am like, not like I like in a act of rebellion don't recycle, but when I'm downstairs at the side of my apartment, like separating my bottles and my boxes, I'm like, for what? Like we just need some rich person,
right? Like can Kim Kardashian just like talk to the sun for a second?
I want to say that it feels like a no fucking brainer for Skims, who has so much overstock because they released a new style literally every other month. They're like, this is our new collection, whatever.
Yeah.
It feels like a no-brainer to do 2 things, which is 1, donate clothes to anyone who's lost clothes during the fire and to donation centers, because they have so much clothes and they have like loungewear. Like it's not like it's like tight leather dresses.
Right.
It's like comfortable clothing and underwear as well. Secondly, they should just say with every purchase of Skims, X amount of % is going towards the climate crisis or the LA fire release. So she'd be giving away her overstock, which is helping her because that just gets dumped down and down and down into like different like places that are like doing those, what are they called? The
landfills.
Eventually the landfills, but first they They just keep getting tossed to these places that are the sample sales.
Right.
And she'd be making money because more people would be shopping Skims because they'd know a percentage of it is going to the fire relief or going to the climate crisis. And then she would literally be getting richer, which I'm not saying I'm advocating for that, but I'm just, if you're thinking like Kim, but also be looking like a hero.
Totally.
I need to be. I know. Margot is moved.
Jamie Lee Curtis donating $1 million after her house burned down. That was cool.
She's the best.
She's
to call Kim.
I know you really like Kim, but recently I've been like, I'm gonna kill you. Not you, but like Kim Kardashian. Like, I'm gonna kill the Kardashians.
Well, I want to.
They're like, I'm just so like, if you're a billionaire, I'm coming for you.
If I had their money, I hate to like brag, but I literally would have already solved homelessness by now.
If I had their money, I would have solved homelessness with you. And also, the wildfires never would have started because I'd have so much water. I just would have sprayed it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like she had. Sorry, I'm like really out of my mind. No, I'm just saying, like,
would be solved and there'd never be a fire.
Like, I just can't imagine sitting in my house with all that money buying little things when everything around me is like just going to the ground.
I also want it on record. I love Kim in a reality TV sort of way.
I want it on record that I hate Kim in all facets, and I'm really sorry.
It's okay. I like her as like.
Our podcast is going to get flagged, like the Hinge thing. I was like, if you're a billionaire, I'm going to come and kill you.
I know. I was actually thinking about mentioning shooting someone, but I was like, oh, I should.
We were just kidding.
That was so funny. When you were like, I wouldn't, you're like, I meant it. And Jess was like, okay. Stop saying that to me.
No, I just think it's sick to be a billionaire right now. It's like you're sick in the head. Look around. Go outside.
The billionaires that were trying to, during the LA fires, hire private firefighters to protect their house. Fuck you.
That's disgusting.
Fuck you.
Who is doing that?
I hope
Kim?
You sat in your house. No. I hope you sat.
What does a private firefighter look like?
Literally like you're going to pay off a firefighter to not go to work that day and come stand in front of your house with a hose.
Oh my God. That's nuts.
I know. I hope some firefighters said, yeah, I'm on their way. Wait there. And I hope they sat up there. Okay, wait, hold on.
Huh? No. I'm processing that there were private. That is so fucked.
When I get really, Wolf mentioned this to me last week. When I get really like heated about a topic, like when I think about people with money, or when I think about people like making decisions about people's bodies, or who people should marry, or what healthcare people should have.
Oh. No,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Fest.
The thing that starts with an R. Yeah, let's not.
Well, that's why I'm saying I need to calm down because I'm like
I actually think that might be too far.
I get into a position of power, things are going to change.
Yeah.
And I want you to know if you're not on my side.
Yeah, you're really fucked.
You're one of the bad ones, you literally better lock your door.
Okay. And starts with an R. Yeah, it's just Hanna has a plan.
Fest.
Yeah. No. We're not gonna do that. But we
would literally be like flagged times a million.
But like Joe Rogan's like doing that every day, and I don't think is he getting flagged? No one's flagging him.
I watched a clip of
I'm gonna kill Joe Rogan.
Of Theo Von. Do you know Theo Von? Mm-mm. He's a podcaster, and he's kind of like the neighbor vibes, like really bro-y. Mm-hmm. But also like people love him because he's like,
my neighbor's really bro-y.
He's like kind of he's like I think problematic. Like I don't know his views or anything, right? But he just kind of like says whatever comes to his mind. Mm-hmm. And I have to show you afterwards because it's like I can't quote it. It's like similar vibe to my fest. But he says it like it's no big deal, and when everyone's reacting he's like what's wrong, and that's how I would be. That's how I was when Wolf reacted to my idea.
Yeah,
this looks beautiful in the window. That light looks like a moon.
Yeah.
And Margot looks like she's like standing with the moon,
and if she was, climate crisis would be solved.
Wolf was like trying to bring up the solar system, didn't
Yeah, what was going on with that?
I didn't know. that we circled the sun.
Yeah. And he was like, I'm going to bring that up on the podcast.
He's like, loves to bring up incriminating things against me.
Did everyone like the episode of Wolf and Noah being on the podcast?
Could you guys tell I was a little tense? I just want everyone to love Wolf the way I love Wolf, which I know is unrealistic because no one else is dating him.
Yeah.
But like, I think sometimes his like, well, one, he goes on like a lot of like male comedian podcasts where they just like are telling stories and riffing, which, you know, like I'm not interested in that. And I feel like Wolf was going back and forth between like being really serious about Sex and the City and then bringing up stuff that was like
the Oscar Wilde.
Irrelevant.
When he went there, I was like, I'll go there with you. Let's go.
Like, I also was like, what a like, I feel like we're trying to brag or something.
Yeah, no, he I think he was trying to brag, and I was like, let's go. I can go right there, honey.
Me and Noah were both like, okay.
I love like catching a man trying to like
I love catching a man. Yeah.
Like trying to like up me educationally, specifically when it comes to like politics or reading. And I'm like, let's go there. Did you read XYZ?
He like I feel like he was trying to brag in the, do you guys know this?
Yeah.
But it's like if you were just say Oscar Wilde has this thing, which I think applies to this.
Yeah.
Instead, he was like, you guys know Oscar? It's like,
have you ever read this book?
He knows I haven't read it. It's so rude.
Yeah.
I'm working my way through Brene Brown.
Love it.
I love her.
Good.
I'm loving her. I am that mixed with pivot year, but I am finding it's a lot of talk about shame. And I don't know where shame is in my life. Like I'm trying to find the areas where I feel shameful so I can kind of tap into what I'm reading. But I don't feel like, I don't know.
Interesting. I forget. Well, I think with Brene Brown's book, so I gave Hanna, for context, I read a lot of self-help books, and I gave Hanna a self-help book recently that I thought would be a nice way to start off the year because it was helpful for me. And it was like, it's just like, it's a very, what I liked about it's called The Gifts of Imperfection. It's just like saying basically like life is never going to be perfect. So like wherever you're at is okay. But let's like think about the world a little, like a larger scope. It was calming to me for some reason.
She also talks a lot about like, which is something I struggle with, is like the finding the right friend, which is not like I struggle with finding the right friend. I struggle with, if something happens to me, I'll tell every person I run into what happened to me. And then some people will react the way I want them to. Some people won't. Some people want to talk about it more.
Right.
And this book she's like saying how like you just need one person that's the right sound. You're like, you're good. That's the right sounding board. And I think I need to get better at when I have with someone a conversation about something and then I like feel good afterwards and like I felt like I've like worked out a little bit how I'm feeling or I've calmed down a little bit, put it away. Like, you don't now need to tell Wolf. You don't need to tell Brian when you show up at work. When your mom asks how your day is, you don't need to say that. Like the thing that has happened, you called Nora. You guys talked it out. Done.
Everyone should follow that rule.
Because the other day, quick example.
I give some good advice.
I worked out something with Brian at work. And I felt so much better afterwards. So then my mom asked, this is the mom call. And I told her the same thing I was upset about that I told Brian, that I already felt better about, right? And then she made me feel worse. So now I'm calling you about the thing that now is you're the third person hearing about it, but you now have the added layer of my mom. But then you took a call at this, and then Wolf comes home. So I'm kind of like, I think I want to gab about it more. Then I tell Wolf, but now Wolf is giving me advice, but I'm kind of done with advice because I've gotten advice all day. And I was like, if after that conversation, and then you know me and my vocal blisters. Now my throat hurts because I've been talking literally for hours straight about the same thing.
Right.
And I was like, if I just left it with Brian, we had a good conversation. He kind of opened my eyes to like how I was feeling, but that everything was fine. And I felt better afterwards. Like if I didn't, like calling my mom led to calling you, and then that call ended, which led to telling Wolf, and then I went to bed feeling bad about it again. And I was like, once you have that one nice conversation, be done.
Right,
like, be done.
right.
So I'm trying to learn that.
Totally.
Because I'm such a gabber.
I get it.
The
Sometimes
are
also
kind of a blessing because they like get me to shut up.
Sometimes I also, like, at work specifically, I don't know what to say to other people, so I just bring up whatever is the most recent current event topic.
Mm-hmm.
Like
what?
I don't know. I'll be like, I don't know. I'll just, like, anything that's happening in my life, I'll just be like, can you believe?
You just, like, you just keep the combo rolling.
Yeah, I'm just, like, I feel like I put myself, I used to do this a lot more. I don't do this as much anymore, but I feel like I used to put myself on blast and all my little secrets and all my life on blast to basically help the conversation flow with others. And then I kind of left always feeling a little like self-conscious, being like, wait, they didn't say anything back.
Yeah.
And now I don't do that as much, but I
feel like I sometimes do that now still. Like a conversation will be happening and I'll want to keep it going or feel like I have to, that I add to it. And then I'm like, I didn't need to know that.
Right.
And like she says in the book, like it needs to be a safe person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you're just trying to fill the space, you're telling people who are not
unsafe
safe person,
totally,
like, really vulnerable things about you. And they might not use that information like the way you'd want. Like at work, I like not anything major, but I brought something up in like a conversation filling moment of like awkwardness, and then someone brought it up to me again, like making a little light of it, and it was no big deal because it wasn't as like a big deal topic. Yeah. But I was like, oof. That wasn't for you.
Yeah, that wasn't for you.
And now it's something you know, and you're bringing up to me again. Like, yikes.
I was yelling at Orange Theory, where you work, downstairs in the basement, and I was saying how frustrating it is that men can like walk around the block and lose 60 pounds and not change their diets. But like, meanwhile, I have to like eat bird food every day and like work out 3 times a day and like make a voodoo doll of myself and like pray and just like it's not actually, but I just feel like I have to do everything. Right. Yeah. And the person I was talking to at the time was like, you know, we were laughing about it, whatever. This girl comes out and she's like, don't worry, wherever you are now, you're going to be it's going to go up from here with the transformation challenge. And I was like, no. There's nothing for me to transform. I have the perfect body. What the fuck? But it's like, no. I was saying that I needed to
that person was coming from a good place.
Yeah, they were like, I was like, no. Wait, what do you mean transform? What, is something bad now? Like, right, what's going on?
What do you mean it's only going to go up from here?
Yeah, what do you mean it's going to go up from here? I was already up.
I'm up.
I'm fine.
Like,
totally
heading up, so I don't
loving the way that I look. That conversation came from loving my body and the way that I look.
That is so yikes.
Yeah, I was like, oh God, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Not to like be Brene obsessed, but in the book she's talking about when, you know, that story of when the moms, hold on, I want to tell it in the most concise way, where the kid is crying on stage because their mom wasn't there for the choir concert, and she finally arrived late. She was stuck in traffic, and some of the moms shamed her, and then the other moms were like, it happens all the time, I wasn't there, whatever. I feel like that woman was like trying to do that, but really like missed the mark. Like she was trying to be I've been there, like kind of
right,
vibe, but you're misreading what's
happening,
and I didn't want that from you.
The thing is whenever someone says, "Oh my God, I'm fat," or "I don't look good," the person's like, your response has to be, "No, you look amazing." It's not, you know what, we all have it. Let's go to the gym together, which is a totally reasonable response. Mm-hmm. But that no. Yeah, like no.
I actually do wonder, like I have to think back to like before I lost the weight, but I know that I was always calling myself fat, but I hated when people were like, "You're not fat," and I was like, "Okay, I'm like 230, okay, like my pants."
You can't give numbers.
Okay, I'm sorry. But at that time, it was like I literally was every couple months needed like a new pair of pants. I was like. You guys, like, come on.
You needed the good American. Speaking of the Kardashian,
I did need.
What did they? It's like you can go from a size 2 or you can be a size 20. These pants will fit you, and I'm like, okay, so they're leggings.
They're
like, what are you talking about? These aren't jeans.
But like, what did I actually want people to say when I was calling myself fat?
I think you were. I don't know. I was doing the same thing, and I was much heavier than you.
I'm like, did I hated when anyone smaller than me was like telling me I'm not fat.
This is like the Titanic.
Someone's coming in.
Literally always. My heating machine seems like it's like the coal room in the Titanic.
It's literally like
it's like I'm a little man coming into your apartment. Here's some heat.
I love that song.
Where are we at time wise?
Like 10 minutes and then we've reached 40.
What? So, this is a sad episode. Climate change.
What'd you say?
Climate change.
Climate change.
What else? I think we're going to get the wet version of what what's happening in LA. I think we're going to get the wet version in the summer. Like the flood version. I hate to say it.
I was like, that's such a brag.
No, it's not going to be a brag. I think it's going to be really scary. And I'm like, fuck.
I can't deal with any inconveniences right now.
Basically, if you're watching this, don't you dare laugh.
It's also like time.
What is that? What? Wow. Wait, that's your phone?
For Wolf.
Oh, what's mine?
Normal. Everyone else's is normal.
Why does Wolf get this like vintage ring?
Because
what's mine?
Normal. Whatever the iPhone picks. You want to change it?
Yeah, I want it to be the vintage thing.
Oh, really?
I want it to be the dog barking.
No.
My mom used to have that for my stepdad.
Love that.
And she'd be like, isn't it so funny? And it's like whenever Chris calls, it's barking. Like Pearl.
I don't even remember how it happened. He heard a sound on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like watching a TikTok of a sound. And he was like, oh, that sound is so me. And then that led to like, oh, maybe your ringtone should be that. Let's see if it's on the thing. Then he was like, well, now that we're here, let's definitely change my ringtone. And I was like, why are we here?
When you were a kid, did you have, and this, I might be aging myself here, but did you have like a song as your ringtone?
Absolutely.
Do you know what mine was?
Tell me.
I'm So Paid by Akon.
What? Really?
Yep. I loved that song.
Wow. Akon is great.
And the way that I wasn't so paid is working at a pottery shop for $9 an hour. Like part-time.
When somebody called.
Like, I'm hitting 90 and a 65 when it's rolled down screaming out.
That's a good song.
It's an amazing song.
Do you want to know what mine was?
What?
I Kissed a Girl.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
I loved that song.
Wow.
I used to like perform it for my parents. They probably were like, well, that's something. I literally was like 11. I kissed a girl. I liked it. And then my mom would look down and I was like, up. I'm up here.
Up. Right here. The other day when we were at a mic, Hannah and I, they were like, the tech isn't working so we couldn't have music. And Hannah and I were like, we can sing. It's like not a problem.
Ensemble.
That was like one of those moments also that I was like, we should have the cameras here instead.
Yeah, I also.
Or when I was like, you don't know what's going to happen tonight. Remember, I'm wearing my heart necklace.
And I was like, I think I do.
I'm really trying to wear that heart necklace more for love.
Okay. Did you wear it today?
Nope. Every day. So I bought this heart necklace. Every day I wear it, I don't find love. Every day I don't wear it, I don't find love. So guess what? It doesn't work.
I kind of feel like last weekend, though, you had like 5 guys.
Nope. They're all gone.
I know, but it means we're attracting.
Nope.
Yeah, a little. We haven't locked anything in, but they're in your orbit.
Back to the orbit. They're there. I do have some people on the, like there's a menu. It's limited.
What would have to happen for us to hook up?
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Is that a crazy question?
That is a little crazy, Hannah. It's a crazy lady. I'd be really, really fucked up.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think there would like
what this is like the beginning of a porn scene.
Also,
like,
we can wrap one up. We're
we'd
at time, so whenever you want to.
I feel like if I was really fucked up, which I don't get anymore, which honestly I've been starting to think like, what is this life?
Oh wow.
You know? Starting to think it's like just today.
What is this?
No, I love my sober journey.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying like I could easily see if I was in like a black eye, I'd be like, Hanna, get over here.
I feel like if we were ever on tour and single at the same time and like sharing the struggles of singlehood, I think I'd be pushing for us to try. Because I want us to be sister wives a little bit.
Yeah.
And I liked when we were roommates.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we were both single, if we were having the same dating troubles at the same time and we're like on tour or something, I can see.
Honestly, that would be really good for tour.
You to like try this.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I don't really like women, and I don't.
Keep in mind, I had a gay pass, so.
I really didn't.
Sounds like you did with the Katy Perry.
I know. It's like kind of like maybe I missed my gay past.
When I was getting so paid.
But oh my God, I'd be so Miranda if I end up having a gay future. Oh my
it
God,
would
I'm
be
with Steve right now. No, I'm gonna stay with Steve.
It would be good for our, like if that would be good for the, what's it called? The press.
It'd be some drama.
Yeah.
Longtime best friends, two famous first of their time comedians, Hanna and Nora touring. Now we see never before seen footage of a kiss.
Who would you wear not that we have to choose gender roles, but would you wear the wedding dress or the suit at the wedding?
The dress.
All right, we're gonna have some issues.
Why?
Because I'm the princess. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I'd be so girly. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna be wearing pink.
Steve be hurt.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note,
he better not be.
No, we don't want him to be hurt.
Well, that's Chirp.
We'll see. And I love you goes a long way tonight. It really does. It goes a long way. Mm-hmm. I would like to. I just want you to know I'm gonna have to wear the dress.
My pantsuit has to turn into a dress for the dance scene.
Yeah, we'll figure out.
But we'll see when we get there.
With the dance scene,
like the first dance.
This is like turning into like a quinceañera. Like it's like,
you're right.
Yeah, it's like in the dance scene.
Sounds like a bad wedding.
I went to I'll end with this. I went to a karate kickboxing class. Totally like threw out my hip or something the other day, and the lady was like, I'm going to start this class off by just saying, give yourself a little bit of grace. All right. I want everyone to give themselves a little bit of grace. And I was kind of like, all right, I'm already giving myself grace. Like, what the fuck? Like, what's going to happen? She was so scary. This was at Equinox. She's like, everyone. And then she does this like crazy routine. She's like chopping the air. She's waving her leg in the air. And it was like karate kickboxing. Like, it was so chaotic. And then at one point I'm like, and I hate when you can see yourself in the mirror doing it. I did that once at a Zumba class at Crunch, and I was like, we're done. We're never going to do this again. And then, yeah, she at one point yells, do any of you guys have a core? And I look at Diana and I'm like, yeah, Diana was with me, my friend. For those who don't know. But yeah, we were, I looked at her and I was like, did this bitch just tell me I was fat? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
The one who was like,
she's like, yeah. I was like, and I looked at Diana, I was like, this is not themed grace.
No.
This is like themed hell.
Shame.
So I left early.
Yeah, I would have left too.
Equinox.
If I already felt stupid doing my moves,
yeah,
and I'm having now a hard time in the class where
does anyone have a core in here?
Now I'm getting shamed by the woman who told me to give myself grace.
I'm going to show you some of the moves that she made us do. It was nuts. One of it was called a half moon. That's the one that really fucked up my back.
I can't wait to see that.
You know the horniest place in the world? Equinox. And not just for gay men, for women and straight men and everyone.
That seems great.
No, I'm not joining Equinox, but I'm just saying it is crazy in there. It's $270 a month, and the classes are not the best. The gym's really nice. There's like lavender. I was actually kind of surprised. Like there wasn't as many amenities that I assumed there would be.
Is there just like a lot of different classes?
There are different classes, but as we can tell from my experience, they were bad.
Yeah.
And then also like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, but it was crazy. Like on the stretching floor, everyone's like ripped and like looking at each other, and like Madonna was playing, and I was just like, okay.
This is like a porno.
Like, okay, yeah, like which one of you wants to hang out? Well, I mean, yeah, it's a big gay hookup situation, but also, I feel like for women and men and like straight men and lesbians everywhere.
To meet someone is at a gym, because
literally
everyone's endorphins are pumping. You're seeing each other this kind of like sweaty, vulnerable state. So it's like, if this is working here, like you should see me all dolled up.
I'm not going to name any names, but my friend, I'll tell you after the pod, was in the Equinox recently. Was in the steam room. Guess who walks in? Troye Sivan. Sits down. Just the two of them.
Troy's
hot. Yeah, he's hot.
Was this friend gay?
Crazy. No.
Oh my goodness.
But it was like very clear that I don't know.
The vibe was there.
The vibe was dinging.
Wow, that's kind of good to know about Equinox.
Yeah, it's nuts. Anyways. All right.
Love you. Shout out to Becky and to Sean. You guys are the best.
We love you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.